This is a HeadGum podcast.
All right, today, Black Men Can't Jump has a sponsor, y'all.
Time to pay them bills. Gotta pay the telephone bill. Gotta pay the podcast bill. Then maybe we can chill. We got to pay the bills. So I don't know what's next. But it's talking about Harry's.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that was
wait.
a good transition.
There we go.
Right?
We're talking about Harry's.
Harry's.
Harry's.com.
Yes.
Listen here. Are you a man?
Are you a man?
Do you have to shave your face?
Are you a lady who has a man?
Yeah, are you somebody who shaves just in general? Do you shave?
Do you want a smooth, classy face where ladies say, "Oh, damn, look how smooth that face is"? It's like a butt.
Do you want a smooth face that's like when people like rub their hand on your face? You feel that that squeak, you know what I mean? Like that polish, that mad smooth shave.
Maybe you're like me. And before Harry's, you were like, oh, I got to shave, but you don't like to shave because you know that when you shave, you get all these like little cuts,
razor bumps and cuts
and little bumps, and then you touch your face and you feel it, and you're like, the hair's still there. What was the point of me cutting up my face for?
Yeah,
well, let me tell you something. It's because you don't have quality.
Yes.
And you get that with Harry's. I know because Harry sent us a little sample packet. Some nice little, oh my goodness, the handle is real nice.
Yes.
Matted black handle.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
And I just was like, man, my hair came off like it was butter, like warm butter.
Was your lady happy afterwards when she saw you with that smooth face? Was she like, "Oh, damn, John"?
Yeah, she straight up said, I like you better shaved.
Woo!
Yeah. Let me tell you this.
Did you hear that?
Let me tell you this. We talked about this already. The people already know. But my lady before Harry's was like, what is wrong with your face? Don't you kiss me with that face?
Yes. Here's the thing.
She literally said that.
That's sad. That's real sad. Listen, gentlemen. You get a great shave at a fair price, okay? They got 5 German-crafted blades, flex hinge, and lubricating strip. You need a lubricating strip.
Yeah,
oh, man, you got to lubricate.
But
if
you
don't
know what?
lubricate, it gets dry.
What's the best thing?
I'm about that fair price.
Uh-huh.
They got that quality guarantee, people. If you are poor like me, hashtag Poor Man Chronicles, okay? They give you a full refund if you're not happy. But you know what? You gonna be happy.
So if you're trying to get one of these smooth faces with all this lubrication on it, go to Harry's.com. And Harry's will give you $5 off if you type in our code, JUMP.
Jump.
All right, you get that with your first purchase. That's Harry's, HARRYS.com, and enter the code JUMP.
All right, don't you wait, guys. It's easy to order online, okay? You don't have to go to the store to pick it up. Plus, shipping to the U.S. is free for all Harry shave sets.
Hashtag the Poor Man Chronicles.
All right, it's not like you see one price and then you're like, oh, that's pretty affordable. And you click it, and then all of a sudden it's like $11 more. I'm talking to you.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna call out
that we're not gonna say.
I'm not gonna call out a brand, but
You're not gonna call it out.
You know who you are.
I mean, listen, everybody wants a little bit of money off. So listen, put in that code JUMP at the checkout and get $5 off your starter kit, okay? And you could be shaving smarter today.
Harry's.com.
Yes.
All right, let's start the show. What trailers were in your?
Oh, I had the Zac Efron one?
Yeah.
The dating one?
With
had
the
that one.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
And what are those guys? What's that workaholic guy's name? We should know it by now.
Dude, the thing is, he's in everything, dude. He's so good.
And then Anna Kendrick.
Yeah. What is his name?
Adam Devine?
Adam Devine.
Adam Devine. Yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
like, who are you guys
You should
talking
definitely
about?
know it.
I know. It's like Adam Devine. Like I like
Adam Devine's
And they have the
house
black
party.
dude from Veep in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
The black dude from Veep.
That guy is so funny on Veep.
Yeah.
I've only seen one episode of Veep.
Whoa,
You gotta
dude.
watch Veep.
You don't
Yeah.
love yourself.
Wow.
But
No, but
He was very funny in that episode.
But I had like
And
one
yeah.
random black movie that was thrown in my.
Yeah, me
it was
too.
like it was
What was
a
yours?
Christmas movie. And
Almost
it had, like,
Christmas.
Was it with
Yeah,
Monique?
no, it had to be.
Monique.
It's called Almost Christmas.
Yeah.
It has to be that movie.
It
It's
was
the
like-
same one that was in, the only one that was in mine.
I didn't
too.
get that.
You didn't get the black one?
Okay.
Where'd you see your movie at?
34th Street.
Oh no, they know black people ain't going to that theater.
Wait,
There
no,
were black
he
people
had,
in my theater for sure.
Well,
I know because they were talking.
my
And then a white guy shut them up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was like,
No.
he said, can you please be quiet?
that's not
Good for
okay.
him. No, they should be talking. They should be
young,
talking in the
They were
movie.
younger. They were like 2 young girls, and then they stopped.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. Don't talk in the
They were
movie.
like teenage.
You shut it up.
That's true. I
You
mean,
shut it
It
up.
is like it does.
It's a weird thing that you feel like you can't tell people to be quiet. Like all of
Right.
a sudden you become the rude person by asking them to stop being rude.
right.
But it's true. You do feel that way.
Well, listen, I'd rather do it than like walk out and get a usher person because I feel like then I'm snitching. So like, I need to handle this myself.
I think it depends.
shut up, man.
I think it depends on
Yeah.
what
Does your voice get real deep like that when you do it?
I always be like, I kind of do what the white guy did. Excuse me, we're trying to watch a movie here. That's what I do.
Were they talking about the movie though?
It was Braylock
Oh,
stuff.
were they talking about the movie? Because that's what I think. It depends on if they're talking about the
No,
movie.
man,
or
don't
not.
talk, period.
Really?
No,
But
dude,
what if
you can't talk about the movie.
What if you're like trying to figure out? Oh, what?
You whisper
It's
it.
different. It's different if you're like if you're like, wait, who's that character?
Yeah.
And they're like, that's the character. Who's going?
See, what
That's fine.
Jonathan did was great movie theater
But
etiquette.
what they were like, oh my God, what's wrong with him? He's so stupid. He should stop doing that. Yeah, I know. And you're like, okay.
But was
If
somebody
you-
doing
I don't
something
need that.
stupid in the movie? Was
James,
like,
it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter because while they're talking, I can't hear the next joke.
that's true. But sometimes you laugh really hard and you can't hear the next joke.
Shut up, James.
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like there's a line. I feel like there's a line.
Why are
It's
you
a-
so understanding?
It's
What's
a
wrong
thin
with you?
one. I feel like I think it's because my girlfriend and I,
Oh, you're a talker.
Oh, there we go. Now we got it.
You're the people.
There it is.
Whenever something happens, we're like, oh, we're like,
Wow.
that's
would
just
hate-
like you do that.
This sounds to me like another reminder that James
It's not a human.
All right, let's start the show.
All right.
Jonathan Braylock, James III, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can't jump. Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
Welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood.
Hollywood City.
James,
You're on your phone. Are you?
what's happening?
Is that Bond?
Okay.
We're not doing James Bond. There's no black.
But
There's
it's
no
like-
There's
black.
no
It's-
black James Bond, and there never will be.
This
No.
is kind of related though.
Because it's a spy.
Yeah, because it's like a spy.
Why don't you do like?
That's Mission Impossible.
Wait, is there a black? Is there a black spy movie? Is there a
This
black
one.
Well, he's like a CIA agent.
No,
He's
there's
not like
definitely a black spy movie.
Well, you-
I
but
mean, do you
you-
count Will Smith in Wild Wild West?
Oh, he's a
Do you
CIA
count
agent,
Will
too.
Smith in MIB?
Do you count
MIB
Will
counts.
Do you
Smith?
count Will?
I count MIB. MIB
more
counts a
Will
little bit.
Smith.
MIB should count.
MIB counts.
I'm trying to think what
Wait,
other.
is there
But wait,
nobody?
but Central Intelligence doesn't count as spy.
I don't know, but is
it's
he
like
a spy?
espionage.
But he's
Yeah,
not
no,
like
he's definitely a
doing-
spy.
Is he a spy? Spy?
Yeah, he's definitely a
Yeah,
spy.
he's
What are you
spy,
talking about?
spy
I mean, I
stuff.
don't know, but he's not like wearing a suit. He's not like doing
Well,
like
no,
Mission
because
Impossible
they're
kind of stuff.
they're
He's
like
an
fugitive
undercover
spies.
spy.
They're like fugitive spies. At
Yeah,
this
he's
point.
not like that kind of spy.
my man gotta be a-
But that's what Ethan Hunt is in the first Mission Impossible. He's like he's on the lam almost immediately.
That's
Not right
exactly
away.
what Mission Impossible is.
But the first
oh,
one,
pretty
he's-
much right away.
But like they're like there's a mole and it's you, and he's like what?
yeah, his whole team gets killed. Spoiler alert for Mission Impossible.
If you guys haven't seen
Came
Mission
out in
Impossible,
1994. You should have seen it.
His
You
whole
haven't
team
seen
gets killed in the beginning of the
Okay.
movie, and then he's on the run.
Okay. The Rock can be a spy. The Rock can be a spy.
But that is a good question. I'm trying to think of other spies.
I mean, my thing is like think about like
I feel like
Bait, right? He's kind
I feel
of
like
a spy
Keenan
in
Ivory
Bait.
Wayans has been a spy probably.
he was
Oh,
in
yeah.
Low Down Dirty Shame, or was he a spy?
He was a cop.
He was a cop.
He was a
Okay.
cop in that.
See,
yeah.
black folk can play a cop because they know, the one unrealistic thing is, let's have a black cop say today.
All right, let's
black
think
cops.
about this as we continue this
Yeah,
episode.
we have to.
So, welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. I'm Jonathan Braylock.
I'm
James
Jerah
the Third.
Shut up. I
Oh,
go second.
yes.
I go second, James.
Yes.
I hate you so much.
I'm trying to change it up.
You are the worst. Just go, James.
I'm James the Third. Ones and twos.
I hate this guy.
I
so
really
much.
do. It's
I'm Jerah Milligan.
Okay.
Yo, we literally go in the same
Wow.
order every week.
okay. Great. So it's 12 minutes in. We haven't started. Okay. So this is a podcast. We talk about films with leading black actors. Okay. We break it down in the context of race and Hollywood's race problem.
Does it help the cause?
So this
Yes.
film that we reviewed, Central Intelligence.
Yeah, starring the Dwayne the Rock. Hey, yo,
Dwayne Johnson.
Yo, first off, Dwayne Johnson. That's a black ass name, yo.
Yeah, of course.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
Good Lord. And Kevin Hart.
Dwayne Johnson. There's this vine that Tessa showed me of this little kid going, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James. It's just him saying
That's
LeBron
the whole
James
vine.
for 6 seconds, and then it loops, and it's just so the whole
LeBron
it's just,
James.
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne
Johnson.
Dwayne.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has a Hollywood name.
Yeah.
Do you think his last name is really Hart?
It is, right?
It's got to be.
I've never checked it, but he's been Kevin Hart for a very long time.
Yeah.
So of course, two of the leading black men in Hollywood, two of the biggest.
They might be, like right now, I mean, we love Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
No, we all love Will
Yeah.
Smith. But they might be the two black dudes that are like,
I mean, I'm saying.
Yeah.
they might be
saying,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
I mean, Will Smith is still Will Smith.
I mean, he's still
Right.
Will Smith.
I mean, Will Smith is
but
still Will Smith.
Will Smith used to be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right now,
Right.
Will Smith is like,
Yeah. He's going to get a comeback with Suicide Squad,
I think so too.
But anyway, so
Will Smith all
this
day.
movie just came out last week.
Yup.
This weekend, it made about, this past
45?
weekend, made about 34 million.
Oh, wait.
it's close.
Why did I go
no,
to
because
45?
Globally,
okay.
it's close to like 45.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time this episode comes out, it would have made 100 mil.
Nice.
Well, I don't think it'll make 100 mil by next weekend, but
Well, I mean, it'll make his money back, I think.
Well, 100% it'll make his money back, and I think it will eventually get to 100 million.
Yeah.
Probably. That's what the estimates are. So
Yeah.
I think it costs 50 million. To make.
Yeah, it costs 50.
So pretty good.
It
Definitely
did better.
a great start.
It did better than what people thought it was going to do its opening week.
Yes.
It did much better.
Oh.
Like, people thought it was going to make like 27 or something like that, but it made like 30.
Yeah.
So it did much better than people
Yes.
Oh,
thought.
that's dope.
Very solid. And it was should we just do first thoughts?
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So are we going to do spoiler free first, or are we just going to start spoiling it right at the beginning? Top?
Let's try. I mean,
I mean,
Here's
nothing,
my
like,
thing.
secretive
Before we
about it.
talk about it, like I think you should see this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, if
See
you don't
the
want it
movie.
ruined, go
Yeah.
see it and stop listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into it.
But we're
this
going to get
time.
into it. But I think you should see it.
Yeah, I
in,
think so
in
too.
theaters.
In the theaters, because
Yeah.
that's what counts, people, because
Yeah.
we need people to buy those tickets.
Yeah, buy the tickets.
So that we can get jobs.
Exactly.
So that's
I
the
mean,
point.
but that's the whole point of the podcast. Buy tickets to these movies so we can get jobs.
All right, great. All right, so let's do initial thoughts.
I'll go first. I saw this movie, and some of the reviews weren't like the best before I went into it. But this movie I thought was like just fun, man.
Yeah.
Like Kevin
I think
Hart
it's
plays
sitting
a
around,
straight person.
60% right now.
I mean,
So
I
it's
think it was
fresh.
fun. Like Kevin Hart plays a straight man, and you know what? Some people complain about Kevin Hart being too like Kevin Hart, you're all over the place. I think Kevin Hart as a straight man is the cure for that, because he still gets to have his Kevin Hart moments. It's like, okay, what are you doing? Like his snaps, but he doesn't have to do that many. Like he did it so sparingly throughout the movie that it was perfect. It was like, to me, it's like he did it and it was great. And then The Rock got to have so much fun playing like a character that I don't even know how to describe, because it's like, I don't know what that was. But you could tell he had fun. And then the two of them, they just had so much fun together. And I was like, you know what? It was just cool to see, man. I don't think race came up at any point in the movie.
A couple times.
Did it?
But
Did it?
Times, but all by
Kevin Hart.
Oh.
And like very soft race jokes. Very,
Yeah.
very soft.
I mean, I just thought it was fun. So to me, it was like walking out of that theater, I was like, this was a refreshing movie, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it.
Yeah, I'll go. Same thing. I like the movie. I thought I didn't have super high expectations, but I also when I heard that some of the reviews were mixed, I was like, I wonder how bad it could be. And then I watched and I was like, oh, this isn't bad at all. Like,
No.
it's pretty much what you would expect. I think Kevin Hart did a really great job. I think Dwayne Johnson did a good job. His character was like very interesting. It was basically very like, he was very childlike.
Yeah.
He was very geeky.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like really played that up in a way that was like fun and then at sometimes kind of awkward and weird.
Oh, it was so awkward sometimes.
But the two of them had great chemistry for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And also the supporting cast was really good.
Yeah, it was Amy Ryan,
Amy Ryan and
the Office fame, y'all.
man, whoops, I'm sorry.
I have
Oh,
it
here
up.
will you have it?
Yeah.
her name?
Danielle Nicolette.
Yeah, there it is.
And
Danielle
Aaron
Nicolette.
Paul.
And
Yes,
Aaron Paul
Aaron
is in the
Paul
movie.
and Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman's in the
Ryan
movie.
Hansen. I liked it. I was like happily surprised. It's funny. I wasn't like dying laughing. I was smiling, I think, most of the movie.
Yeah.
But there were like, I would say probably like 5 or 6 times where I like uncontrollably like laughed out loud, like really hard. Like where people like turned around and like looked at me.
Oh, more so than other people?
Everybody was laughing, but if something like really gets me, I kind of laugh like really loud. It's like burst laugh now. I don't know why. It's so funny. Like your laughs like evolve or just change. My laughs are always changing. I don't know what happens, but right now my like really sincere laugh is like this really loud like bah!
I like it.
It's really crazy. Anyway, and I think a couple of those times is when Kevin Hart mentioned that he was black.
Yeah.
Like, by far, one of the funniest parts of the movie to me was was when Dwayne Johnson was like, "Man, you're like a black Will Smith," and Kevin Hart was like, "I think that's racist."
Yeah, it's like I don't know if that's racist or not.
I don't know what to say about that, but I'm pretty sure
I
that's
was
racist.
like, "A black Will Smith." I laughed so hard.
Yo, people, stop making fun of Will Smith, man.
No, I don't.
Like,
is that making fun of Will Smith?
A black Will Smith?
I mean, but
Will Smith ain't black.
I don't know if that's making.
Nah, man. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You know what's so funny though? I have in my stand-up.
Do you have a black Will Smith joke?
Oh, totally. I say that I'm very like I'm mixed, and I do mixed things like I like I do black things, but it's like half. So like I like chicken,
rotisserie,
but it's grilled.
Oh yeah, I get that. Respect.
Right? Like I chill on the street corner. I chill on the street corner, but I say it's a little bit nippy outside. And then the last one is like I love rap, but my favorite rap artist is Will Smith.
Hey man, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Will Smith, man.
Whoa.
Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Will Smith.
But also though, when you hear that, like that does sound very. You get it.
You get it. You get it.
And that for some reason is
Have
the top. That's the height of the joke. Like
I won't accept
you
it.
can't say it
Oh
more.
yeah,
it makes sense, but I won't accept it. You're going on Will Smith, man.
I love Will Smith.
I really enjoyed this movie.
I figured you would.
No, but like, I mean, I know that, and this is, I need to be clear because I talk about a lot of shitty movies on this podcast.
You do.
But I really enjoyed this movie, and I was like taking notes throughout of any time like this is my first time seeing a comedy in a while that like had a big crowd. At it. So like I took notes of like every time the audience had a big reaction and they were all different. Like it was never the same big laugh. It was all like a different thing. Like, like when did a bunch of people repeat a line back to the screen? When did people
what was
like,
one of them?
I'm a hugger. Literally, it was like people laughed, and then I heard a group of people say, "I'm a hugger." Like the laughter.
Totally.
Oh, that's dope.
Having it realized, like, oh, that's the thing. Like there, so many moments like that, or like different reactions that I thought were like so fun, and I felt the same way. Like I wasn't laughing throughout the whole movie, but they were like definite laugh out loud moments, and I loved Kevin Hart as straight man versus like this really weird character that Dwayne Johnson was playing.
great.
Like I thought it was
So weird.
Like he's so weird and like you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you really don't.
I mean, like
You
we
still
know.
don't.
I mean, you know because it's a
but
movie,
you still
Right, you know because it's a movie, and you like know if you've seen the trailer, you have an idea of what's happening, but you don't know. Like it's very
Yeah, you're like,
bizarre.
who is this guy? Like because there's times where basically, so the premise of the film is, it starts with that opening. If you've seen the trailer, it starts with that opening of like Dwayne Johnson as a kid singing, like it's a chubby,
and he's a little fat baby,
little
fat Dwayne.
naked. Dwayne Johnson, singing. What is that? In Vogue?
In Vogue, I think so.
Yeah, in Vogue, right? Not SWB's in Vogue.
Never gonna get. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah.
He's just like singing like really hard and dancing and they're like kind of watching him. And did you notice the black kid was the only one who stuck up for him just like a tad before they like threw him out? He was like,
oh, did he?
Yeah, like
He
right in
did.
the beginning, he was like, man, he is good at dancing though.
Yeah.
And they're
yeah.
like, shut. The white kid was like, shut up, we're about to take this kid and throw him.
Why they always do that to the token black dude? He always with the group, always just goes along with it.
Yeah, and he was like, cool. And so they just take him, they grab him, they throw him. And meanwhile, Kevin Hart's character he's like, he's the
getting
best,
the award.
most popular
Yeah.
kid in school. Everybody loves him. The principal gives like this weird, awkward speech about how great he is.
He wish he was his son.
Yeah, and-
but he's he can't have kids.
Yeah,
that he can't have kids, and people are like,
Why are
like,
you saying that?
TMI. and Kevin Hart's just like giving this like really natural like speech. I was like, I wonder if there was even a script written. I feel like
he just went for it.
he just did it.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, Dwayne Johnson's naked body gets thrown out. What can we talk about this for a second though? In like, I don't understand why in movies, I feel like really cruel acts happen in high school in movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then teachers and principals like don't do anything about it. And I'm like, is this real? Like, does this actually happen?
I mean, I remember some stuff happened in my school. We had, oh man, I can't say it. Whatever. We had this kid in school.
You can't say it, and now you're just gonna say it.
Well, no. I'm trying to think about how I'm gonna say it.
I can't say it. Here we go.
So like, I think like sometimes teachers like they say like don't do this and stop.
Yeah.
But after a while, I feel like it's only so much you can do because like I remember they used to like kid this one kid who was really skinny who looked just like Steve Urkel but like the Urkel version, and he had a brother who was super cool and attractive who they called Stefan, but they would pick on the little one. And I remember literally one day teachers would always stop people from picking on him. I remember going to the locker room by the gym, and like they put. By the time I got there, he was already in the trash can. Like he was like his feet were in the trash can. And I remember like one of the people who ran the gym or whatever they call it came by and just told him, "Hey, get out the trash can." Like they didn't even he didn't like try to get him out. He didn't try to get him out.
That's so messed up. They told the kid.
It's like, yo, what you doing in the trash
like
can?
it was his fault.
Have some respect for
And
yourself.
the bad part about it is that it wasn't even like people around him making fun of him.
Yeah.
He was like, I guess he was, I don't know how long he was in there, but he was like, he was in there. And
But someone definitely put him in.
Clearly.
Someone took the top off and put him in the trash can, bro. And like they were like, get out the trash can. I was like, God.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about that
messed
is as a person who goes in and out of schools as a teaching artist, I've noticed that sometimes teachers are just tired. Sometimes, sometimes they can't deal with it. They see the same stuff over and over and over again. There are some days they can't deal with it. and it's like, part of it, I feel like it's like if you see it year after year after year after year after year, you're just like, oh, that's how kids are.
I know, for sure.
To a degree.
I love that the principal was just like, well, there's no coming back
You're
from
never
that.
coming back from that.
That stuff.
I was hoping at that point that like maybe Kevin Hart was going to say something like into
I
the
did
mic.
too. I thought he
you know
was.
what I mean?
I thought he was.
But he gave
was
him
nice,
gave
but
him his jacket.
Yeah, so he gave him his jacket.
Yeah.
I mean,
his
which is
Letterman
cool.
jacket, and
He could have
covered
said
him up,
something.
and he was like, sorry, man, sorry about that. Like, they're such jerks. And,
I mean, he had a mic.
Now, I have a question about this part.
well, Dwayne
though.
Johnson like ran away like pretty much immediately.
I have a question about this part of the movie because I don't know that it is, but is it fat shaming this beginning part? Like,
I was gonna ask a question
Well,
about like, is it funny because he's fat?
they
shamed
definitely
him.
fat shame him,
So do you think I don't think the movie is supposed to be on those.
and the movie's
bully's
definitely
side.
not on their side. But it's
But
like
the joke is that the
but
Rock is
isn't
really
part
fat.
of it like,
and like
like they try to show, and I don't know, this is like picking it apart, and I will be clear to say that that's I believe I am trying to pick it apart when I bring this
no,
up.
what you're saying is, I think
But
it's a
like
very valid question.
they're clearly just trying to show like a transformation for him and for
Totally.
Kevin Hart. So, and like it is just a very different body type. Right? So
Right.
that's one thing. But there is like part of it where like, we see him dancing naked in the shower and they pan over his whole body. So it's like we see him.
Well, it's almost the thing is like I think if you think back to like I'm gonna bring up another movie. There's Something About Mary.
Yeah.
When they flashback to Ben Stiller when he's younger, he gets his balls trapped in the zipper. Like that's funny and like it's not
Embarrassing.
sizes and embarrassing without him having to be a person overweight.
Yeah.
Whereas like this movie, it kind of like the joke almost is that it's The Rock and he's extremely overweight.
Right.
You know? So I get what you're saying. But I don't think they mean it in a bad
Yeah.
way.
Right, yeah.
I hear what you're saying, and I think, yeah, in a way, there's probably a little bit of that there, but also he was like dancing, like dancing naked and taking a shower at at his high school, and they like make it a point to be like, why does he come here and take showers? Like, that's weird.
Right,
And it's like, that is weird.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, for you to, like, go to your high school.
And they still don't address
and
it.
then, like,
To
be,
take the shower.
like, butt naked to take a shower and then singing at
Blast
the top
music.
of your lungs,
Yeah,
dancing.
And it was so
it's
unrealistic,
like, you're a
too.
freaking weirdo, dude.
He had no flip-flops on. You don't go in a public shower or gym without flip-flops, bro.
Some people do.
Nah, bro, you don't go barefoot into
That's true.
your high
That's
school
gross.
gym. He's disgusting. That should have been
It
a
has
nasty
nothing
part.
to do with his weight.
That's
No,
actually,
nothing to do with his weight.
Maybe there was a line. Maybe they were like, he ain't even got no.
It should have been. Hey, where his flip-flops at? Adidas. Always rock the Adidas jumps.
Yeah. Okay. So then, of course, then we cut to 20 years later. Kevin Hart is an accountant.
Not
at
living
his
the life
job.
he should live.
Not living the life he I guess
Wants.
envisioned for
Yeah,
himself.
thought he was gonna be.
Like, I mean, here's the other. I mean, you're talking about fat shaming. Movies accountant shame a lot.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
always like, I wonder what accountants feel when they go see movies because like it's the
Yeah.
go-to like
Boring job.
job, and it's like, hey, we earn six figures.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It's not a bad job. Like it's a steady job that you need an
I
accountant.
think, but I
Everybody
feel like
needs an
accountants are
accountant.
probably like, I mean, they're probably
Whatever.
laughing their way to the bank, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's
just
true.
like, yeah,
cares?
that's right.
Like,
Yeah,
you
we're-
laugh right now, but I'm getting this lobster, sucker.
Yeah, and then the idea is that he's not actually doing as well as he wants to be.
Yeah, he's like, also, he's not only
Didn't
is he an
get a
accountant, but he's getting
promotion.
passed up for promotions by people that were
by
younger.
his
Younger.
assistant. By his
Yeah.
old assistant.
yeah,
Got a promotion over him.
yeah, and so he's kind of like, ugh. And then his wife is doing very well. So there was a little bit of that kind of at play. I mean, like they very like lightly touched upon it. That the
Yeah.
idea of him feeling
Inadequate,
like, emasculated because his wife is doing better than him career wise.
Right,
And
yeah.
she kind of was like,
Get over
excuse
it.
me, like,
I
screw
mean,
you.
Yeah, well, that was actually something that I thought was good about the movie, but I also was like, oh man, it'd be cool if they explored this more. But I
Yeah.
thought it was good that like Kevin Hart was just very much in love with his wife. Like
He was.
there was never any
Yeah.
like, even if it was like, oh yeah, you're doing so well, there was never any like he
Jealousy,
resented her or like.
That's
you know.
a good point.
I thought that I actually really liked
The moment
that
she
about
said, do you want to get like, let's go to counseling? He's like, cool. I'll do
yeah,
it.
yeah. He was like, we got to do. Yeah, let's
I'll
do it.
do
I'll
it.
meet you tomorrow. You know, like
Listen,
that was great.
I want a woman who makes more money than me. I'm like, please. Because I don't have no money already. So if I can find one who's like, Psh, let me stay. Look, man, I
You
can
hear
take care of the
that,
house.
ladies?
I can learn how to cook and like, man, I will build some shit. I will build a shelf. You want to do a new bed or like some, I don't know, let's do it. Ladies, Jonathan, just so everyone knows, Jonathan is staring at me with such sadness in his eyes and such judgment.
Just okay. I just don't like it when you use our podcast to try to get women. It's just
No,
so
I know.
weird.
I'm
I
not
know.
trying to get women. I'm
You're
just
trying
saying,
to get
it's
a
like-
sugar mama.
I'm just saying, like, man, I'm trying to be made. Isn't that what they call them? Made men? Made?
No, but wait. So
Maybe
yeah,
in
no,
the shade.
yeah, no, you're trying to be a
I'm
maid
trying to get
man.
made, you know?
So this is we didn't talk about this
Put
part.
your hands down.
But this is
I'm doing
For
a
the
peace
listener,
sign.
Jerah has both his hands up with peace signs.
Yeah, made men. Made in America,
Oh,
baby.
goodness.
this was one of the parts that that the audience reacted very strongly to.
Oh,
I thought
what's what?
was cool. So right before we find out that that his wife is better off than he is, and he's at the lunch with his wife, and the guy's getting the promotion behind him. I think it's before this, or maybe it's right after this. He gets the friend request from Bob Stone. He has no idea who he is.
It's after.
Okay, so it's,
Yeah,
it's right
right
after this
after.
scene. So
Right
good.
after.
So good. This is good timing. So the music like starts to get like spooky. Like you're like, what is happening? And he's like,
wait, no, that's before. Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
I don't.
This is before. He doesn't know like who
He
this
just
is.
sees a friend because it says Bob Stone.
Oh, so there's no like
photo.
no photo, no anything. He like decides to accept it. He clicks on the page. He goes to the page. There's nothing on the page. The music is getting even more eerie. And then suddenly there's a phone call. And like
right when he accepts it.
Right when he accepts
Yeah.
he accepts it. And then bam, there's a phone call. And like everyone in the theater was like, they
That's so
jump.
funny.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
everyone jumped. And then
They just fell
and then
for that.
and then when I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then when it ends up being it's his wife on the
It's his
phone,
wife,
right?
it's his wife.
Oh, right. This is where they're like, we need to do therapy. It's his wife on his phone. Everyone the audience erupted into laughter. Like
Really?
when everyone loved it.
What
They-
about when The Rock started like Facebook
Right, that's
messaging?
later.
That's
Wait,
later.
Is that the
That's
same time? Isn't it?
That's so. That was basically.
Oh
a play
yeah, it's
on
during
the,
that scene though. Yeah.
play on the Matrix.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, is that what that is? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
what
like a
that
call in the
Yeah.
Matrix where he's like, where he
yeah.
gets the phone, and like right when he gets the phone in his hand, it rings, and he's like, "What the?"
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
kind of just like that. He like accepted, and then his phone rings. He's like, "Huh." And then he's like, "Hello," and then he's like, "Hey, baby." So he's like, "Oh, I thought you." I don't know. I accepted a friend request. Like,
That's so good.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, just a real quick sidebar.
What you doing?
If you gonna friend request somebody, don't be having your profile pic as like the beach, and then when I click on your profile, and all your profile pics are like of sand and a mountain and a tree frog. Screw you. I ain't never accepting your friend request.
You got
ever.
like
Do you understand me?
one
I don't
picture
care if
of-
we have 200 mutual friends in common. I'm never accepting your
Not
friend
with
request.
200 people?
That's right. You better show me who you are or message me or something. I hate this blind thing where I have to accept just to see who you are.
I mean, he
and then
has
if,
a
and then if
point.
you're somebody I
No,
don't
he
want
has
to
a
be
great point.
He
Come
has
on
a
now.
point.
I always
like-
get the robot women.
Or like
I get robot
Yeah,
women
those
nonstop.
two. I mean,
I
I
don't like
mean-
I don't like the robot
the
women.
person that like
yeah.
has like a lot of celebrity doppelgangers, so then I have to go, who did I recently meet that kind of looks like, you know?
That's funny that you try to figure
like,
it out.
kind of looks like Joan Cusack. Like who did I just meet that
Makes me
kind
so
of looks
mad.
like that?
Yeah.
But everyone,
Alright,
erupted.
sorry.
Everyone erupted. me.
Okay, I'll
And
tell you a
then-
part
yes.
that people love. Oh, you still describing it?
Well, I was gonna say, or are you gonna talk about the part when he's chatting with Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah, because like that part, people started going nuts.
Yeah,
and I
that's
did it
funny.
because
That
it's
is
like
after. That is after because it's
Yeah.
they have the dinner.
That's
they
right.
have the dinner and
Yeah.
then the lunch and
The
then
lunch.
he goes back after lunch and he's like chatting with him.
yeah, and then the wife called
and he
it's-
sends him like a link.
Yeah, and the thing that's so funny is that like it starts off with like rainbow, unicorn, and then like a throw up face, and people just like it's just like a very childish, very broy like message, and then when he sends him the link, and it's just like what is even happening in that
No
link?
It's like
idea.
a woman twerking.
Then
and
it's
then
like a dude like his head's going down like he's bowing. It was like
and there's a dude
madness.
like a pole like
And,
attached
like-
to his like
knowing the character
Privates, I
now,
guess?
because you don't know the character at all at this point, but knowing the character now, like he was on the other end dying. Like, right? Like
Yes.
he sent that and then died laughing. Like, like he's on his computer, on his phone or whatever, like, and he thinks it's hilarious.
yeah, and it's like loud rap music and like Kevin Hart's trying to prank it up and they like walk and like his
his new boss.
his new boss, former intern, is like, that's really inappropriate.
And he takes the whole monitor. It's not a laptop.
Oh,
he takes
yeah.
the whole
That was
monitor
nice.
and puts it down on the desk.
was
It's
funny.
so funny.
Anyway, so then we kind of cut to him meeting up with Dwayne Johnson at this bar.
Who has a fanny pack on?
Yeah,
Yes,
so he like
and a
sees him. he's like, "What
unicorn
the-"
shirt.
He's got a unicorn shirt. He's got a fanny pack,
And some jorts.
and he's just like super excited. And he's like, what's the character's name?
Oh, he's like
He's the jet. He's the golden
the
jet.
golden jet. The
He's
golden
like,
jet.
The golden jet. Oh man, you're so cool, man. And
He's like, how'd you get in shape?
Yeah.
I worked out every day for 6 hours
Oh, he's
for the
like,
last
for
20 years.
You can do. Everyone can do it.
That's all you can do. It's real simple.
Like, but then like what's so funny is that which kind of I think one of the first telltale signs of like The Rock's character is the waitress walks over and she is like hitting on him.
Yeah,
hard. And he just doesn't even acknowledge what's happening. And then she like dismisses Kevin Hart the whole time. And she's like, I will do anything for you. And Kevin Hart's like, oh, this probably happens to you all the time. He's like, I mean, I don't know. It happens sometimes. And he just, it's like just not even a,
Yeah.
He's
it's
like,
not
yeah,
even a
it
thing.
happens sometimes. Well, it's funny because I feel like the standard Hollywood thing is for him to not even realize that the woman's hitting on him, but he actually does, and he
Yeah.
goes and he says, he's like, yeah, it happens sometimes, but like I'm kind of over the phase of a meaningless sex,
Yeah.
and I would love to.
So
Paints
it's
this
beautiful on
picture
the-
that he's been having
beautiful
just
on the
all
inside.
sex.
Yeah.
Like,
Beautiful on the inside and outside. That's what he's
Because
saying.
like I feel like the typical movie would have him be like a virgin still.
Right.
This one's like, oh no,
Yeah.
he's had the meaningless.
Oh, he's
been
done
having
it. He's
Just
been
all
in.
kinds of sex. Like,
They call that man The Rock, you know what I'm saying?
And then of course he gets Kevin Hart. Like somebody takes the stool. He gets into a little scuffle. Dwayne Johnson's like, I don't like bullies, and then like just destroys like 4 people.
yes. Wait, but so I wrote down one of the lines that he says in this because I thought Kevin Hart says in this because I thought it was so funny. So like Kevin Hart's trying to avoid this fight. And like The Rock is just like going at, he's like, I'm gonna have to like kill these guys, right?
But
And-
he's doing it in a really nice,
in a
like,
Nice
really
way,
nice
because he
way.
doesn't want to do it. But he has
But
to.
Kevin Hart's like, come on, guys, I ordered the 4 cheese nachos. We can eat them together.
eat 'em together.
we
Or
can
you can
eat
have
them
'em.
together.
Yeah, like, oh, you can have them, or like, you know.
That was so funny to me. I thought that was so stupid.
but that's a perfect use of like the Kevin Hart ism, like the whole like. I mean, I mean, and it wasn't like annoying. You know what I'm saying? It fit the situation, and it was like, it wasn't distracting.
So good. But then after this was so I loved Kevin Hart in this movie. I thought he was incredible. But he had so many moments that were like so grounded, and one of them was right after this. Like after this, he is like so floored at like what Bob Stone just did, and he's just like, man, and it's like this real genuine like, I can't believe what you did, and it's not the shtick. Like the shtick would have been like, oh my God, you had a guy and you did it, and you know, like, it would have been that, but it was like just a person being like so like, I can't believe what you did, and I saw my boy doing that, and then this is
gave
like,
him energy too. It gave him excitement.
And this is a moment where we really see like how important Kevin Hart's character is to The Rock's character, because he's like, I saw to see my boy doing that, and then he's like, we're boys, and it's like this real.
Bro,
like,
that's kind of creepy though.
Yeah,
I was like, yo, The Rock was like so like borderline like it was crazy that line they went, because he was kind of creepy, but he was also so endearing and like so like sympathetic. But it was so creepy though.
Yeah, man, we're boys. And then so they go back to Kevin Hart's place, and he's like, yeah, if there's anything I could do for you, and he's like, Dwayne Johnson's like, actually, like now that you mention it, I got some tax stuff, like accountant stuff. If you can look at it,
oh yeah, send it over,
you know.
man.
And he's like, I have it all right here. He's like, oh yeah, send it over. He's like, yeah, it would be really great if you could do it. And then
you could do it right now.
Kevin Hart's like, oh, you mean now? And he's like, oh, thank you.
And he just walks right now.
Just goes in, and then you know they look at some stuff, and you could tell it's like, okay, this is not just accountant stuff. It's something else going on. Whatever. Dwayne Johnson crashes there, wakes up in the morning. There's a knock on Kevin Hart's door.
But The Rock
what
does
is that? What happened?
The
What
Rock
did he do?
does. The Rock does like things in this movie that is never addressed. Like he moves like a ninja. Like literally.
Oh right.
Kevin Hart wakes up. So like Kevin Hart puts him to bed, and he wears Kevin Hart's pajamas like super little. Can't fit on the couch.
That was another funny, really
Yeah,
funny.
it's like,
line.
well,
he's like, those are yours now.
But he
I
still
think I
wears the
laughed
fanny
out loud
pack.
at that because he just like the way that Kevin Hart delivered that line. He goes, "Those are yours now."
and he mentions like The Rock has a fanny pack on. Rock's like, I never take the fanny pack off, and it's never brought up again. Like it's just never addressed. He doesn't take it off. Like doesn't take it off. And then when Kevin Hart wakes up in the morning, all of a sudden The Rock has a TV on and snacks. It's just like,
yeah, where did they come
like,
from?
He just had a
Like,
bunch of like snacks, and just like the living room was like terrorized. And then we catch up to like Kevin Hart going to the door.
FBI agent. This is when Amy Ryan
comes
in, and she's like, "Have you seen this man?" And Kevin Hart's like, "Yeah, he's on my couch."
And he comes in,
Which
and
I
the
love
couch is
that he
clean.
did that like immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it's
like,
on my couch.
it's on my
She's
couch.
like, "Oh my god!" And then they bust in. There's a couple of agents. They go over to the couch. He's gone, and the living room is spotless.
This is the part. This next scene is the part where like my theater went nuts, and I did. This is probably the only part I literally was like, oh, "This is really funny to me." Like she like
Kevin Hart
addresses
and
him.
Amy are talking?
Yeah, like they
Yes.
like he does. He just has this Kevin Hart moment. He's like, "Man, tell me what's going on. I gotta take a shit." Like literally, like literally,
I need to be excused. I need to take
like, can you tell me what's going on? Like I don't know what's happening. You know what? I need to go take a shit. And he just like says shit, but then does it. And at one point he's like, you know what? I'm cool. He's like, no, I'm not gonna go take some shit. I'm not gonna take a shit. Like that's what criminals do. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be cool. And he starts leaning on the couch. That's what cool people do, right?
Yeah.
That's what cool people do.
Would a criminal do this? He leans too awkwardly onto the table.
Looking smack at her in her face. And the thing is, they don't even cut to her really. But they cut to her like 2 times in that whole thing and just let him just like go.
Yeah, that exchange was really funny.
Because she's like, and the thing is, that reminds me of her from The Office because like, because she used to deal a lot with Steve Carell's character who was all over the place, but she still was like super straight manny, but like always served the joke, and like she did it perfectly in that because she always answered. And somebody had a question, she always has an answer, and just propelled him more into like that scene was so funny, man.
That was great between the two of them.
What I loved about what the change to the movie once this happened was like from this point on, every time they go to a new place, there's like there's the words like a CIA like the word scroll across the bottom of the thing.
Right.
And they're like these headquarters, you know, like the movie is now a different kind of movie. You know, it's like now it's a heist or a spy movie. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, and so they go back to his office. They're like, okay, if he comes and contacts you, you know, you let us know. Blah blah blah. We're gonna go in the stairwell or whatever. Dwayne Johnson's already there. Like, he closes the door. He's already in the office, and And Kevin Hart's like freaking out. And this is the part that's in the trailer too, but it was so funny watching it again when he's just like, all right, are you in? Are you out? And he's like, in or out of what? In or out of what? What's going on? He's like, no. Are you in or are you out?
I'm out.
I'm out. No,
I'm out.
No, you're in.
So why'd you ask?
I thought you were going to say that you were in. It was going to be a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined it.
And Kevin Hart says he's out so much in this scene that it's insane.
And then he just constantly, and so
like, I don't want anything to say. I'm out. People know I'm out.
yeah, and so this huge action scene happens where the agents come in and
It's great.
Dwayne Johnson's like shooting at them, and they're being real cavalier.
I
about
mean, just
bullets,
people
just
are
shooting.
innocent. People are getting hit by bullets. They are like it has to happen. Like people went to the hospital after this.
Someone clearly got shot.
People went to the hospital after this.
and wait, did Kevin Hart get? No, he didn't get shot, but he shoots
He
somebody else by
pistol
accident.
whips somebody and shoots someone's ear or something.
by accident.
It's great. It's great.
And then but then they get out of it. Dwayne Johnson like puts him in a thing.
Jump out the window.
He had like a flash bomb.
Yeah, in his fanny
In the
pack.
fanny
It's the
pack.
first time we see him utilize
Yeah.
the fanny pack, and there's like a smoke bomb or a flash
It's a
grenade.
flash grenade.
Flash grenade, yeah.
in his fanny pack.
Shoots the window. They jump out the window onto this like monkey balloon, this gorilla balloon that they had established already.
Yeah.
And
Get a car, you're going to die. I mean, this movie was just like, it was like a solid buddy cop movie. I mean, it's like
100%.
you didn't know who the bad guy was. You honestly, at
The
one
whole
point,
movie.
At one point, I was like, "Is it The Rock?" I was like, "It
You
could
didn't
be
know
The
the
Rock."
whole movie.
I thought it was.
It
Yeah.
could have been The Rock, and I was like, I mean, that was great. Like Amy Ryan's character could have been the bad guy. The moment I saw Aaron Paul, I'm like, "Oh, you're not gonna have this fancy ass white dude in this movie and not have him be
I thought
important."
that
They
was,
did.
I thought that was an Aaron casting. I was like, I felt like it foreshadowed too much to
Oh,
have
I didn't
him.
know. I didn't know because first of all, I mean, Aaron Paul's big, but I don't know. He's not like.
I mean, he's
But
super
he's not
big.
gonna do. He's not gonna do.
I
The
thought
way
they
it's set
Jason-
up, he's not gonna do. And this is complete spoiler alert, but it's not. He's not gonna be the guy that's in 2 death flashbacks. You know what I mean? Like,
No, man, he's Jesse, bro.
yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Gonna,
You don't waste
You're not
Jesse
gonna
for
cast
that.
him as the. And the first time we see him in a death flashback. It's like. No,
You're not
he's
doing that
coming
to
back.
Jesse.
He's coming back. And granted, like it's like, sure, the whole time you're rooting for it to not be The Rock, but like, I don't know, like casting him, I was just like, no, it's too obvious.
All right. Well, so we just ruined it. No, I just
We
there is a
literally
death
went for it.
flashback. Basically, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson tells Kevin Hart this whole story about like how well, this is what happened. Like, I was with my partner, who's Aaron Paul. We were supposed to get the access codes. Like, I don't know, what was it like? The FBI's like
It was like
wanted
the
list.
FBI satellites. It was like
Satellites.
the
Yeah,
PTA
they would
satellites.
have like nuclear launch
Access-
codes
They would have
if
the
they had
codes
it. Yeah.
and access to all of America's satellites.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So they have this stuff, and he's like this dude. What is it? The black
The black
Badger.
Black Badger.
The Black Badger, and he killed my partner, but they framed it so people think it's me. So that's why I have to get these codes, and I'm trying to like figure out what the codes are so I could find the Black Badger. And you can help because basically there's like this auction that's happening for the codes, and whoever wins the auction, you'll know the coordinates. So this fight scene with this dude.
It's insane. But
Wait, the dude on the,
On the
dude on the motorcycle?
motorcycle,
That
yeah.
was incredible. It's like he kept using the motorcycle to
kept
kick-
using the
he kept using the
motorcycle to hit.
motorcycle to hit.
It didn't make any sense because he had a machine gun with him the whole time. And I was like, after you hit him down once, wouldn't you just shoot him with the
Yeah.
machine
It was
gun?
and then
it was
literally
so
Kevin
fun.
Hart takes it and
He just
immediately
takes it
leaves.
and leaves.
And just leaves.
He's like, I got backup, and then we just see him just drive away.
Oh, can I say one thing? I know we're still going through the movie, but it's one thing I meant to say at the top. What I love about this movie so much is this movie has 2 black leads, and it was never considered like a black movie. It was another summer blockbuster, which I thought which says so much to Kevin Hart and The Rock's power. And not saying like black movies are bad, but it's like they became like something that like it wasn't about their race selling this movie. It was like, oh, watch these
Totally.
2 really good actors make a movie together.
And it's taken a while now for Kevin Hart to fight. I feel like Dwayne Johnson had crossed over already. And he almost probably even in wrestling. Like he
was always
a crossover, but Kevin Hart, it's taken him a really long time.
Because he started with us.
So
and even Get Hard, I feel like was still like very heavy upon his race, you know.
Oh,
and,
yeah, the whole point of that movie was his race.
Yeah, and like I guess Wedding Ringer was supposed to be a crossover, but like it didn't do that
Ride
well.
Along though is that a black? That's not a black movie though, right? That's about.
It kind of is
it's
like
not
Will
about
Packer.
being
It's
black.
not, but like Will Packer produced it. Like that definitely is like it is. It is like Will Packer is great because like he is not Tyler Perry. So his movies have like the better black thing, if you will.
Yeah.
Whereas like this movie, at no point that had any like it was never discussed. Like even when you read the reviews, their race was never discussed. It was
Right.
never like the fast talking blah 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 or like the quick witted this. It was like
Right.
the family man and then the
What I really liked about this
They were
too,
people, yo.
in respects to Kevin Hart, is like there are a lot of parallels to Ride Along with this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And like structurally, there's like stuff that we talked about on the Ride Along episode that like. He's kind of playing the same kind of character, like this sort of like not equipped guy for this scenario, but who like is trying to rise to the occasion, but in this case specifically, he doesn't want to be there.
He's not really trying to rise to the occasion.
And I think because he's not, but because we have this understanding that like he used to be an athlete and like he, the pieces to the puzzle sort of like come together a little bit more. Like when he does rise to the occasion, it's like, I believe this moment versus like kick move at the end of Ride Along where you're like, how is he doing that? Like, where you actually have the question, like, how is he able to do this?
Right.
It's like the way that it's sort of formulated in this movie, just to compare those two, I think that it feels like those things are a little more justified, which I think also has to do with like crossover. And
well,
that
they
sort of
are,
thing.
and he doesn't necessarily do anything like too outlandish that you don't believe he could do. Like,
right? Yeah.
He
gets shot at one point. So clearly is like
he
really
fails the back. He never does the backflip again.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Even like his detective skills, he's like, oh, I think it's this person, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
He's just
Right,
wrong about it. Like
yeah.
he doesn't actually know.
But those inferences, they made a lot of sense, right? Like it made like she was the only one who it could have been.
I loved
it.
If it wasn't him, it was gonna be her, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
You know?
totally. Because he was basically acting like the audience. There's a
Right.
point in which he accuses. He's talking to Dwayne Johnson's character. He's like, oh, it's probably like Amy, right? The FBI agent. She's going so hard after you. It's got to be her.
Right.
Who else
She's
could
the
it be?
only one who has access to this and that.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It's
Kevin Hart got to play a character. I was just talking to my friend about it earlier today. Something that you don't see. He got to be the everyman, but he was a black dude. Like there's so often like you don't like Will Smith never gets to play the everyman. He's always like the hero. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have that. We don't have the Dustin Hoffman or the Tom Hanks guy. You know, like but Kevin Hart had an opportunity where like he was just the everyman dude who was a husband. Life kind of sucked. And, like, he had a chance to become better. And it's like, it was so cool to see that because even thinking about it right now, all of our big celebs, like, it just doesn't play an everyman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Michael B. doesn't play an everyman. Like, these are all extraordinary Negroes, as they, say in film. And it's like Kevin Hart got to be just
Actually, now that you think, now you're saying like it really the entire film reversed what usually is. So like Kevin Hart is basically playing like a character that Jason Bateman usually plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then Jason Bateman in this movie is playing a character that might be like given to just like a black actor,
dude. 100%.
a featured role of like, oh, he's like this bully, blah blah blah, and even like or like Amy Ryan's character, it's like, all right, we'll give like the black female like the cop role.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean? And they won't be the, you know what I mean? Like,
what's her name in it's Nicole Ari Parker in Blue Streak,
Yeah,
right? Like
that's the
I mean,
cop,
like
yeah.
it's that
Exactly.
cast. It's the reverse.
It's the reverse, and and I mean, we didn't say too much about Kevin Hart's wife in this
I wanted to bring up the women characters in this movie.
Yeah,
because
why
I
don't we talk about
think
that?
both of them, like even Amy Ryan's character, wasn't super stiff. Like they could have made her like just a stiff CIA agent, but she wasn't. She had like a sense of humor to an extent. Like she fed Kevin Hart every now and then, and even at the end,
And she was like really tough. Like she was overly aggressive in a comedic way.
Yeah.
She like tasered, what's that dude?
Oh, the dude from
Ryan Hansen.
and tasered him twice.
Yeah, she just tasered
One
him
of my
twice.
favorite parts from her was in that first scene in Kevin Hart's office when she's like when he's like am I in danger? Are we in danger? We can die. She's like, I never said that. It's like, no, you just said that's nothing. That sounds like nothing I would ever say. And he's literally repeating an exact thing that she said, but she says that sounds like nothing I would ever say.
Oh no, I think it's okay.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's
what
like,
is-
we're gonna use it. We're gonna like, all right, the bait is over here. She's like,
Oh,
wait
yeah.
a minute, am I bait?
Am I bait?
I would never say that. But you just said it. I heard it.
Yeah, it sounds like nothing I would ever say. It's so funny. It's like, oh, anyway.
Yeah, and then Danielle, his wife. The thing I thought that was so cool about the wife, Danielle, is that she was always on his side and not just like the stereotypical like, be better, Kev, like be better,
Well,
do
she
this.
wasn't on his side in the
Well, no, but the thing is like
therapy session.
Well, no, that's because The Rock clearly was like
Was forcing,
like he was clearly like
leading
setting
her
him up.
different. Yeah.
But even at the end, like this is not to skip ahead, but this is really cool scene at the end where well, whatever. By the spoiler alert, where Jason Bateman gets knocked out and like Kevin Hart says. What Kevin Hart says
so
something.
Jason Bateman, basically, it's revealed that the guy who threw,
The Rock
out there in the beginning of the movie when he was a kid is Jason Bateman grown up, and he is like
a high level
investment
in finance
banker
or something. Yeah.
and they needed him to like get this like account code. And he like helps them, and he like does this whole scene where he's like talks about how he found Christ and he's so sorry for what he's done, and he's like thinks about it every day, and he's just like, and he just like does like a really sincere, like very like honest like apology, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then he just starts laughing, and he's like, ah, ha, ha.
Yeah, they go, I don't know what to say, and then they're like, why don't you say that? What's his name's like the Oscar goes to.
Yeah. I mean, it was great.
Oh,
and like
no.
the Rock's character gets so scared and like nervous and like leaves, but at the end, Jason Bateman tries to like bully him again, and The Rock knocks him out. But like Kevin Hart, like they step over him and say like something. I don't remember what they say.
No, he says, baby, step over him.
Yeah, but like she said, like then she makes a comment too. So it's like he said something and she said something.
Wait.
She's like on the same
So
page.
just real quick though, they both were like, yo, step over him. First of all, congratulations to LeBron James for winning the NBA championship for Cavaliers.
Oh, yeah.
But also, when you stepped over Draymond Green, that was disrespectful. Don't even try to play. This entire movie, they made it a point to be like, step over him, because they know that's disrespectful. This movie was made a while ago. They were not referencing what happened in the NBA Finals.
I mean, true.
Hey, yo, how you going to try to step to...
I'm just saying.
Hey,
don't-
No,
I'm
man,
saying.
he made a good point, man. And then Draymond Green got kicked out. You know what?
Yeah. That being said, Cavs deserve to win. Okay.
I mean, but
We
I'm saying you're
predicted-
just going in the middle of this. We talking
I'm
about
just
something. We
saying.
talking about
I'm
something
I mean,
else.
the people
Talking
saw
about
it.
something else.
The people know LeBron.
I'm just saying.
The
I'm just
audience
saying.
knows LeBron.
Okay.
They're humans, James.
James is from
I
Cleveland.
don't like that at all. I don't like that. What that implies.
Aren't you from Cleveland? Shouldn't you be really
I'm from-
happy?
Yeah. What you mean? That's what I'm saying. Why you stepping LeBron? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm saying why you stepping LeBron?
Why are
know what
you
I'm saying?
squeaking?
I'm saying why you stepping LeBron, son?
LeBron James.
No, but I thought the
anyway,
female
so-
characters were handled very well.
Yeah.
They could have more to do.
They
Yes,
could have
I
more
would-
to do.
I-
They
there were-
could have more
There
to
were
do.
times that I thought that his wife was gonna show up. Like there were times when like he was when like Kevin Hart was like under duress or whatever, and I just thought like, oh yeah, she might show up right now, or just there were times that they were together on screen, like towards the end of the movie where. A lot of what was happening was like just just having reactions to what The Rock was doing. But like I thought, like, oh, are they gonna have
Yeah.
moment?
But it was good. Like
it was good. They were strong. They were strong characters. There was never like a damsel in distress kind of situation.
yeah,
There was
which
never,
right, and that's what I mean. I always thought that she was gonna not be a damsel in distress, but like come help him because he was so.
got you. Anyway, so just to make a long story short, a couple other hijinks happen.
Yeah.
There's a point in which Kevin Hart calls Amy to arrest Dwayne Johnson because she kind of threatens, his wife. And so, he's like, I'm sorry. And then, Dwayne Johnson feels bad about it.
And, like, I thought that was great because I thought the betrayal seemed real. I thought it felt real, even though, like,
very real.
They had only been together for, like, the last 12 hours or something crazy like that.
Well, and because Dwayne Johnson's character is, like, you are getting hints and hints that he's, like, really obsessed with the Golden Jet. Like, he, like, talks about it. Like, I think they even mentioned, like earlier, like, he's like, oh, I never got that jacket back. He's like, oh, yeah, you didn't? Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, so, like, all right,
he has the same bike as him. And
it's like.
From high school, too.
From high school. It's like you could tell, he was, like, obsessing over him a little bit.
Yeah.
But then basically Kevin Hart, like, when he sees Dwayne Johnson getting tortured, he's like, all right, I'm going to stop this. And he does. He breaks him out. They get out. They meet up. And when they go to meet up, Dwayne Johnson's like, all right, you stay up here. I'm going to go down. And he does this wink. That's the same wink that he gave Aaron Paul, his partner's character, before he died.
In Amy Ryan's description, that's when he did it. Like when he technically like killed his partner.
And so he turns around and his face gets like very serious, and you're like, oh snap, it really is.
I thought it was The Rock.
Yeah.
And so he goes down and he's like, blah, 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 like, you're early, and they're about to trade. But then all of a sudden, Amy's coming, so Kevin Hart goes downstairs to like be like, yo, freaking Amy's here. Like, she's the Black Badger. I knew it. And he goes and he sees like something happening, and they're like, who's that guy? And he's like, oh, that's my partner. And he just turns around and he shoots Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Through like a window. And you see blood streak up, and you're like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
For a moment, I was like, yo.
They're not. I was like, they can't just kill Kevin Hart.
Don't really go do that. I didn't think he was dead, but I was like, The Rock really is the bad guy. That's so cool. But then Aaron Paul shows up, and right when he shows up, you're like, oh, okay, he's the bad guy.
No, but he was already there. He was already there at the time that he shot him.
No,
he wasn't.
No,
he was, because he goes. He's out there and he hears The Rock say, "Oh, I'm the Black Badger," and then he hears Phil say, "I'm the Black Badger," and Kevin Hart goes, "Phil, is that after he shoots him?" Or
that was after he gets shot.
Okay.
When he gets back up again,
shot.
he sees both of them, and then he sees Amy Ryan's character, and he sees the card, the thing on the ground.
Yeah, it's after he gets shot because I remember right when I saw Aaron Paul, I was like, clearly he's the Black Badger.
Yeah.
Like, there was a slight second where I was like, oh, is he here to save? I was like, oh, he's going to save Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
But then Dwayne Johnson was like, I'm the Black Badger. Aaron Paul's like, I'm the Black Badger. You're like, all right, okay. So
but then they play that card too.
They play it too.
They still play that card of like,
I'm
I'm here from the CIA to extract you. Like, you're like, oh God, what?
And the guy's like, I don't care. I'll just kill both of you, of course. And then this huge shootout happens. The FBI's there. Everybody's shooting at each other. People are getting shot. Kevin Hart grabs the codes, runs upstairs, gets chased by Dwayne Johnson.
He does a ninja thing again. Like, he just appears on the bridge. He's like, hey, man, you can trust me. Aaron Paul's like, no. You can trust me. So the same thing happens again. He believed Aaron Paul, didn't he?
And he has a gun. Kevin Hart has a gun, so he just shoots The Rock.
In the butt.
And then Aaron Paul's like, great. And he was like, yo, man. He's like, I don't trust you either. And then Aaron Paul keeps approaching, and then he goes to shoot. There's no more bullets, right?
Yeah, there's no bullets. Which shows gusto that that Kevin Hart was about to shoot this dude, though. He's like, man, I'm about to shoot this.
Yeah.
Of course. And then he throws this movie, by the way, the logic in this movie, I think, was flawless.
It was grounded.
I'm usually so annoyed by movies, and I feel like every time, like, Kevin Hart's character did the smart thing every time. Like, he never did something I was like, oh, no one would ever do that.
Yeah.
He's always like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this. Or like when the cops are like, they're like, you're a part of this. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm not his friend. Let me repeat that. I'm not his friend. Like, he won't relent. Because, like, sometimes in movies, they just stop talking. I'm like, why wouldn't you just keep saying it? Again, Hart does. He's like, always like, no.
Get me out of here.
It's not me.
Get me out.
I want to go home. Never knows who to trust.
Like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't know who that. I'm not putting this gun down. I'm not stupid. You gonna approach me? I'm gonna shoot you. And then he just runs out of bullets. And then he throws the gun. Aaron Paul somehow just catches it.
He's just like, what? He's like, I got so tired of hearing about you, blah, 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 blah. And then does Kevin Hart kill him?
No. So what happens is
so
he's like,
good.
and he reloads the gun, and and then Kevin Hart's like, oh yeah, like I'm the golden jet, and he just jumps to do the flip and then just
Falls again.
It's so great. He doesn't amazingly do the flip. He doesn't do the flip and then like do some weird karate
what's
move.
so funny is that he's like the flip does kind of look cool because he gets
mad air. He gets mad air. He gets
so
way
much
more
air.
air than he should get.
but
he doesn't do
he can't turn his body, so he basically just turns his body like 180 degrees and then just falls down flat,
Straight down.
like a belly
And
flop.
Aaron
on
Paul has
cement.
the best line. He's like, the hell was that?
What was that? And he's like, that's pathetic. And he's like, you thought you were gonna flip and like hit me or something? He's like, oh, it's a distraction. And then the Rocket, Dwayne Johnson's up by now.
Rips out his trachea.
Which is insane.
Rips out his trachea.
This movie's PG-13.
Which is insane.
This movie's PG-13. That was hyper
And
violent.
then he tries to
You
shake
ripped
his hand.
throat out.
Then he tries to like help him up with the thing in his hand.
And he's got his freaking larynx. He's got his trachea in his hand.
Disgusting.
Oh,
It's
man.
disgusting. I was like, this is a PG-13 movie. How did they get away with that?
Oh, it was great.
Anyway, that's how Aaron Paul dies.
Yeah.
But Aaron Paul like does this weird like freaking weird martial arts kick at one point.
Oh,
too.
he does nothing but cool kicks.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, but he's trained.
can
I
I
mean,
say something?
Jesse's
though?
real. And
I
he
like
says
Aaron
bitch.
Paul.
He says
yeah,
bitch
He
in
does.
it.
He says
He
it.
says it. He
I
says
love
bitch in
Aaron
it.
Paul in Breaking Bad. I love it. This movie, I was like, I don't know why he's in this.
I
movie.
mean, it could. That's why I think it's a casting error because that could have been anybody, and to cast him in that part again. I like it. It didn't give it away for some people,
Well-
but for me, the second I saw
I knew
him,
he
I
was
was
a bad
like,
guy,
okay,
yeah.
totally,
he's
but
the villain.
What I'm saying is, I'm not even talking about the celebrityness of it. I'm just like the way who he is, like how his demeanor is as an actor.
Yeah.
It was just a weird. It literally was to me the only casting choice that felt out of place. It felt.
I didn't hate him.
No,
It felt
because he
movie
was
to
like,
me. It felt like I don't believe this person as like a agent.
right, but he was also like what I read what you're talking about as someone who was just like so over the
Oh,
Rock.
I liked that.
Like but that's the thing.
I
He
did
was just
like
like
the scene in
so
the
over the
elevator.
Rock that like everything, all of his interactions that we saw with him were like just like.
But also, it reminds me, like you brought up the Matrix earlier. He reminds me of the character in the original Matrix that sold everybody out.
Right.
Like he just like he wasn't cool. He wasn't
yeah.
like a fighter. but
Joey
it was
Pants.
like he had it just felt like he had a reason to be there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't hate Aaron Paul, but it was like he was so big that like the moment he showed up, I'm like, oh, it's the
Yeah, I didn't hate him either. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. But anyway, that was the only moment where I was like, I'm not feeling.
yeah. But they finally get to. Oh, we gotta
so-
say.
Yeah.
I just have to say
That's
there was one point in the movie where the audience like applauded like during the movie.
Oh, wow.
And it was when this is backtracking a bit, but I just want to say it before we move on to the next bit. It's like right when Kevin Hart decides to start helping The Rock, like after like when he breaks him out, and he does the punch with his
that is cool.
and he's like he's so excited about doing it. He's like, I did it. Just see, I did the thing. Oh, follow me. And he takes the gun and he's like, hold up, no, what am I doing? And he like, he gets it
you
back
go
to
first,
him.
you bigger.
You go first.
You go first, you bigger than me.
What am I doing?
That was funny. That
And
was
like
funny.
the audience, like everyone erupted in laughter and then applauded. Like it was the release was there
Yeah,
for
this
everybody.
movie really took its
wait.
time with the character development.
Yeah.
It made everything. They didn't ham anything up.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
I'm gonna jump back to one part, and then we can go back. It was like so. We talked about it when Kevin Hart, like earlier on, goes to like therapy, but The Rock is like the therapist.
Yeah.
And like The Rock smacks him in the face, and like
yeah.
people in my theater went nuts because like The Rock smacks him 2 times, but then the third time like Kevin Hart smacks him.
Yeah.
And literally in my theater, like this one dude, and there's always the one person who yells, "Damn right!" And I was like, it was just so funny.
And that
Moments
was
after-
funny because because the whole thing was he's like, I'm your wife, and he's like you're not my wife, and he keeps smacking. He's like, I'm your wife. He's like, you're not my wife, and he smacks him. He's like, I'm your wife, and then he smacks him again, and Kevin Hart smacks him back, and he's like, you just hit your wife.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And his wife
And
goes,
Daniel's
"You
like,
hit us."
you hit us.
you hit us. Oh. Yes.
Yeah. So then, of course, at the end, his name is cleared.
we about to get to my favorite part. When they get to the reunion.
And then go to the reunion, and they punch out Jason Bateman. And then, of course, we never even mentioned this, but like Dwayne Johnson says, like he's never been naked since
The incident.
And Kevin Hart was like, I thought like you've had sex, and he's like, yeah, but it's always in the dark. You know, it's like I've never been like seen fully naked since.
I hate that. Like when people I respect it when people like want to have sex in the dark because they don't feel good about their bodies. But it's like if you don't like your body. The whole point of sex is like I'm supposed to like your body. You're supposed to like mine.
Yeah.
But if I don't
Sex
see
is
your
a
body,
celebration. It's a celebration.
It's a connection. But if you don't feel connected to your body, then why? Like, how can I be connected? You know what I'm saying?
Why are you talking
Because you
about
got the lights off.
because I
the
actually
whole
think
thing
that this is totally valid.
This is pretty valid. At least give me a nightlight.
The man suffered a mental trauma.
Well, no, he's not talking about.
I mean, can I get a little bit of window light?
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit of moonlight coming through the?
Like one solitary candle.
I want to see
like
something.
Just one candle flickering.
Can I hug? You might be able to replace a pillow there, and I'm hugging a pillow. I want to hug a person and know what I'm looking at.
But so The Rock has never been. So Bob Stone has not been naked in 20 years. And at the, you guys want to say what it is? At the reunion. So at the reunion, Kevin Hart has done some hacking. He realizes now that he's like he can do more with the computer than he thought.
Yeah,
he makes it so that
Dwayne Johnson, Bob
Stone is the new homecoming king. And he goes up and he does like a great inspirational speech, but then just strips naked.
Which is weird.
As he's doing the speech,
Which
he
is
just
weird.
starts taking off his shoes.
I don't think it's weird at all.
Everybody knew it was coming. He took off his stick, and then he just strips, and he's just completely naked.
People, you don't just show up to a reunion and get naked. I
that's the
got to
thing.
dance.
Well,
with
that's
you.
the whole thing. They've all seen him naked already.
Right. So there was a moment that I was about to be like, wait, this is weird that he's doing this. But then I was like, no, the last time he was even at that school.
That's the
was,
reason.
No, I know
he was
why.
naked and everyone laughed
So
at
you gonna
him.
dance with a naked dude?
And so I will say that is weird. Because he takes it. Well, no. He takes all of his clothes off, and then he goes like this, and everybody applauds, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
which is
That's
beautiful.
a beautiful moment because everybody laughed at him, and now everybody's applauding. But then he's like, "Let's go party." Now, when I've done this healing, redemptive act, and I go, let's go party, that's when you put back your boxers on.
Yes.
You put on some pants. There's
Hey.
no reason to continue throughout this entire party naked
I'm
I'm
on
not
board.
a party with you, nigga. But the one thing they
See, Melissa McCarthy made a cameo. That's why I didn't think the Aaron Paul thing was weird. Melissa
No,
McCarthy's in
no,
it
no, no,
just
no.
for one
Wait,
little
but-
scene.
but
and
let's
she's a
get to-
bigger star than Aaron
Let's
Paul.
get to that.
That is true.
like early on in the movie,
That
The Rock
is
hits
true.
on
That
who
is
his
true.
crush was.
Much bigger star than
Yeah.
Aaron
That
Paul.
is true.
Yeah, but The Rock hits on his
Fine.
crush. The Rock hits on his crush, and he talks about his crush early on, like who had like she had the messed
Darla
up eyes.
McGuckian.
Yeah, she had the eyes. Comes out to be Melissa McCarthy at the end. So this movie had a swirl, y'all.
Uh-oh.
They had a swirl. This movie. No, they kissed. I mean, look. I take what I can get.
A kiss is a swirl.
They kissed. She played with his chest,
Wait.
played with his titties.
Did they kiss?
Yeah, they kiss.
Yeah.
They kiss, and then he tries to back away, and then she's like, "Give me more kiss."
Yeah, they like have a
kiss.
good kiss.
Oh, you're
and
right.
Then,
You're right.
They have
they
a
do.
good-
And then he
kiss.
tries to end it because it is over.
Yeah.
And then she's
Also,
like, no.
stop pretending like that's a swirl.
Bro,
No.
kisses is a swirl, bro.
He's been a
kiss is a swirl.
You can't say that
Just
a kiss
because
isn't a
he's
swirl.
changed it since we've done the
Because Bray, I wanted the
No,
people to get a little swirl
since-
action.
since
You know how hard
episode-
it
Okay, I'm
is?
just saying. Let
Since
me just say this
episode
though,
one-
for the record. In terms of the actual swirl, the fact is that there's never been an on-screen sex scene.
Okay, fine.
Yes, but
Fine.
since
between a
It's
black
episode-
man and a white woman where race was not a factor other than focus. That's the actual fact.
Okay,
There
but
have been movies where black men and white women
They get a
have
hug
kissed.
and get a kiss on the cheek. Okay,
All
fine.
right,
It's not a
all right,
full-fledged swirl.
fine.
It's a
how
Hershey.
about-
You know they got it later on,
So
though.
how about we now do
It's a
the
Hershey
swirl?
black and white. It's a Hershey black and white
It's time-
piece.
It's time for the swirl.
Okay, this is a perfect way to do the swirl. So all of a sudden, The Rock is naked, right? People are proud he's naked. He's feeling like a man. You know what I'm saying? He's rough. Probably got semi-wood at this point walking around the party.
That's not necessary.
No.
He's walking around
No.
he's walking around feeling confident.
I'm sorry, you don't have to do the
No,
swirl.
no, no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
too late. We
I
in
think
it.
we're done
No,
here.
shut up. We're in it. He walks around feeling confident. All of a sudden, he sees the love of his life. They embrace. They kiss. And he tries to pull away because he's like, this is too much. And she's like, no, bring it back, right? Like she does in the movie. And all of a sudden, she's like, I want to know why they call you Bob Stone. And all of a sudden, she starts, as she's kissing, starts to undress too.
Oh
so now they two naked
Wait,
people.
are they in?
No, they're in the reunion.
Everybody's watching this.
They're cheering. They're cheering they're like, yeah, Bob, yeah, Magookie. They're going, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a team. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, Magookie.
Let me see why. Because this isn't
What a
just
great
about
name.
this ain't just about sex. You know what I'm saying? This is about two people overcoming like their high school like anguish. You know what I'm saying? They were made fun of,
Yeah.
but now they're adults. They're confident. She had glasses on. He hit the gym, and they're having sex like two people who've never had sex before in their life. They're going for it. You know what I'm saying? The
On
music.
the school dance
Oh,
floor?
the school dance floor. Matter of fact, this is the early '90s. So what they do is they play back some
Oh, this is
old
the
R.
high
Kelly. You know
school
what I'm saying?
reunion.
I know, but it's like,
I
they
got it,
graduated in
got it,
'96,
got it.
so they play some R. Kelly 12 play because that's what came
Right.
out then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they don't see nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? The light changes. It's no colorful lights. It's just one red light. You know what I'm saying? Once I don't see nothing wrong comes on, red light special comes on because you got to stick with the red so people know what's going on.
God. There's a
And
lot of
after red
shaking
light
heads in
special,
the
I mean,
studio.
no, but it's a great soundtrack. I mean, come on. It's a great sound. He's killing it with the soundtrack, right?
And then after it's all said and done, they get up, they walk out in slow motion. Slow motion, like it was almost like. And then hold on, wait.
Wait,
and
do
as
they walk out in slow motion? Everybody else is in regular motion?
No. They walk out in slow motion, and as they walk out, you see the banner that says High School Reunion 1996 Fall. Almost like it was like an action movie, and the bomb just exploded, but the bomb was sex,
Jurassic
and the John was an orgasm. That was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we did it. Producer
You
Carly is not about
You
this
did
world
it.
at all. I feel confident in that swirl.
Sorry.
I
All
feel
right.
good.
Well, there we go. That was the swirl.
Cool.
And now we are moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on to it's time for the.
Time for the
Calls.
cause.
The
I have a quick
calls.
question though before we get to the calls though. It's been in the back of my mind.
It's
But
too hot, James.
the movie National Security.
Okay.
That's the Martin Lawrence movie?
Yeah, it's Martin Lawrence and Steve Zahn. Now
It's
here's
actually
the
a good idea.
Here's the thing about national security
Yeah.
and so it's about like this people that like that
Are you going to eat when
not,
you leave?
No, because one of them is
Yeah,
an
I think
expert.
so.
The other one is not an expert. So
I'm thinking about getting a lemonade.
so like the expert
Like eliminate?
is
Maybe
the expert
strawberry
is the
lemonade.
driving
Oh, that'd be
force
good. That'd be good.
of the movie. Like he's the driving force. Like
I kinda could go
all
for,
the
like, some
events.
sushi or something.
Okay, see, no, you guys are not listening to
Well,
me.
I'm not that into fish, you
And I
know?
know, no,
Oh,
but so the expert Steve Zahn, he's the driving
Tacos?
force. Steve Zahn in this case is the Rock.
I could do tacos.
And
There's a
then,
taco place now.
but then in the case, and Martin Lawrence is the Kevin Hart character.
This new studio
because
is
it's like
hot.
not because he's not
it's pretty
ready
hot
for
in
it.
this room.
So then
Are you still talking, nigga?
I just want to know. I just want to know if it's good. Is it good? Did you guys like that movie?
No, man, it's not good. All right. It's time for the cause. The cause, we rate films not based on how well we like them, but whether or not they helped the cause of more leading black actors in Hollywood.
I'm sorry for saying the N-word, but James just got under my skin.
We give this either a black fist, meaning it fully helped the cause, a white palm, meaning it was so-so, or nothing, meaning it didn't help the cause at all. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Why did I do that? I'm sorry.
On the count of 7. Just kidding.
Wait, you started at 7?
I'm just kidding. It's like on the
See,
count of
that
3.
one was actually confusing. I would ask that question if I were Jerah.
Yeah. Here we go.
So what are you counting from? 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1?
Here we go. 1,
Are you doing 1, 2, 3, James?
2,
Thank you.
3. Yeah, okay. We
Three
got
black
we
fists.
got
We
3
do that
black
with three.
fists.
Black.
I mean,
fists.
let's see. Let's who wants to start? James?
Should I start?
Yeah, you never start.
I think I start a lot. No? I will start, though.
Yeah.
Loved this movie, right? But not only did I love the movie, I knew I was going to give it a palm right in the beginning. Like, right when the movie...
palm?
Palm? What did I say? A palm?
You said palm.
I knew I was going to give it a fist. It's hot in here. It's hot. Everybody's hot.
Nah, it's because you're too busy talking about national security for no
No,
reason.
no, just... But for real, no. I knew I was going to give it a fist right when, like, he's just like this accountant who's just like, man, I peaked in high school. Like, the second that was...
Oh, yeah, true.
The second that was what was happening, I was just like, man, this is like every movie I've seen with a white person. And, like, I like...
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
but it's like, it's every single one. Like, that's the
true.
movie,
That
right?
is 100.
How many times has Adam Sandler been somebody who just was not doing the thing? You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, I was just like, oh, this is
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen just always playing. I was just like, oh, this is great. And So that's great. I love it because here's the thing, right? Like we talk about like, is it a black movie? Is it not? Blah, blah, blah. They have to do rape, blah, blah. I also like that he just occasionally Kevin Hart would be like, black people don't do that and stuff like that. Like I thought that was great. And again, like I said, I haven't gone to see a comedy in a while that was like packed. Like people showed up to see this movie, and I mean, there's so much I could say that I think that I want to try to be as succinct as possible. Like that, it deserves a fist because it's a great movie with black leads, and a lot of people want to see it.
Yeah, I gave it a black fist. For all the reasons James is mentioning. I mean, one of the biggest reasons just Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart have now, I feel like officially, well, Kevin Hart especially, cemented themselves as like crossover.
Tell them.
Which is a term that I hope we don't have anymore, but like for right now it is. Now, I will say this movie probably still won't do as well foreign as it will domestic, but my thing is you keep making these kind of movies and the foreign markets will eventually like get over the prejudice that they have. Obviously, like Dwayne Johnson has done films that have done very well for like Furious 7 was like and all of those Fast 5, Furious 6, Furious 7 have done well overseas, and so has the G.I. Joe retaliation thing, and so he's done that. He's a known commodity.
That's why you cast The Rock.
Exactly. So, but Kevin Hart, like, it's good to get these comedies out there where, comedies actually in general don't do super well foreign anyway, but it's just nice to see like two leading black actors in like a big budget comedy film, and the film like be not about race and like be like very solid, funny, and it was just so nice to see. And then also, I don't know. I mean, that's really the main reason I gave it. I was just like, of course, and it's going to help their careers. It's going to help other people's careers because people will be like, all right, look, if you've proven yourself as a star, we're not going to care about your race as we go forward. And also, we can give you movies where it's not about your race. Like, that doesn't have to be the thing. You don't have to be like, all right, cool, but like, how do we make it urban? You know what I mean? Like, and I am assuming that this movie played, well with the black community as well, as like people of color. So like, to me, that's the real beauty of it, where you can have a film that doesn't feel like it's like a quote unquote sellout. You know what I mean? To just make money and completely erase your racial identity, which is not the greatest either. It was like that. It was hitting that sweet spot for me. And there was just a couple of messages where Kevin Hart was just like, "Nah, I'm black. Like I don't."
He was like, "I'm black."
Have you seen 16 Candles?
Yeah, that's what
I'm
it was.
black, so no.
I'm black, so
I'm black, so is his answer.
Which is great.
I mean, I gave it a fist because basically what everyone said, but it's actually a really selfish reason that I gave it a fist because as like a shorter, average-looking black dude. No, it's like it was cool to see a black dude be an average man. Like it was nothing like drastically special about Kevin Hart. He wasn't like the wheeler and dealer,
or even like below average.
Yeah,
height,
he was just a dude. He was just a man. You make a short joke about Kevin Hart right now.
What?
I'm trying to give an inspirational.
I'm
trying to give an inspirational
I'm
thing.
missing something.
He made a Kevin Hart short joke.
I was looking at my notes. What was it?
The thing is, for people at home to understand, is every time Jonathan does one of these like jokes, he always says it and then looks around to see if anyone noticed it. Like it's almost like, did y'all hear what I just said? Yeah, and he laughs to himself. If no one even knows
it's the equivalent of the face he used to make when he would say Little John 2001 for his Snapchat, but that's now not his Snapchat.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
I'm sorry. I ruined your moment.
No, I'm saying no, but it's like it was just to me just cool to see that, and it was cool to see the theater I saw it in was here in New York at Union Square, and the audience was so mixed, and everyone seemed to enjoy it, and I was like, man. Not saying, and again, I don't want people to think when I say like it wasn't considered a black film as a bad thing. Like I think knowing your identity and who you are is great, but the mere fact that like this person, like these two guys, were just seen as human beings and not like by the color of their skin, as corny as it sounds, was so meaningful.
Yeah.
It was like these were just two dudes trying to become friends, trying to save the day, and they did. Matter of fact, The Rock, make sure you know. He says at the end, and he says it when you save the world. He makes sure you know. He's like he tells Kevin Hart's wife. He just saved the world. It's like two black men saved the world, bro. like didn't have special powers. It wasn't like, and we love Will Smith, but it wasn't Will Smith like saving us from aliens. That was like so far fetched. It was like two dudes just like doing a thing. They were spies. Kevin Hart became one at the end, which was cool.
Which was great.
You know, The Rock.
Like,
and he
it
still
was
is.
just like
What do you mean he became a
He
spy?
became
at the end, he was it was his
FBI
first day
agent.
at CIA.
CIA.
His first day at the
Oh,
end.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember he had
that's why he was in a suit. That's why he was coming to pick him up.
And he was like, I didn't know what to wear on my first day, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, don't worry, they're going to love you.
But they
Totally
didn't even,
missed that.
But that's the thing. They didn't
They
hit
didn't make
that
it a
over
big
the head.
deal.
The movie had. I'm just piggybacking.
Becoming your own hero,
Yeah.
the hero in your own story was one of the big things of like, yo.
Which is so funny because it's a thing that Kevin Hart was saying. Like he was like it was not supposed to be that. He was like, look, everybody's the hero of their own story, but in reality, that's not the case. And Dwayne Johnson was like, oh, hero of your own story. That's awesome. Like I am the hero of my own story. Like it's like completely the opposite of what Kevin Hart was trying to say.
Yeah, and then they even touch on the thing where like there's a scene where like the Dwayne The Rock Johnson fakes like they're like about to crash to get Kevin Hart to
it's
admit
so
like
good.
what is the thing he
Which is
hasn't
messed
done.
up.
It's
It's
messed up.
so
but
good.
it was like being a dad. And the thing is like, and again, I bring this up
this movie's
so
good.
I bring it up
This
so
movie was
much.
really good.
This
How often
movie
do we
was
see a
really
black
good.
dad happy to be a black dad on TV?
Yeah.
He's not going some like at the end of the movie it ends with him like his wife is pregnant, like he's happy. This movie ended with a black man who had a big house, which is never addressed. Huge house, wife has a good job, his wife is pregnant, and he's going to a job.
Yeah.
With his black friend who
Yeah.
also has a good job. Bro, we made it.
I love this movie.
It was great. Movie was great.
Cool. 3 Black Fists. Real quick, I just want to talk about. They do a little like if you stay, they do a little bit like gags and stuff. One of the best outtakes.
yes.
One of the funniest moments in the entire movie was the outtake when Kevin Hart was like, when he was like, I mean, Dwayne Johnson goes, I mean, Bob Stone. It's a dumb name.
so
It's
good.
not even my real name. He's like, it doesn't matter. It's not your real name. Come on, man. That happens all the time. I'm like Sting. Wait, what's the other
It's
one?
like
it says?
Sting.
Yeah.
Who else does he say?
He says.
He doesn't say the Beatles, does he?
No. He says. Who is it? Who
Oh, it's a
is
good
it?
one.
We
I'm
can't think
screwing
of
this
who
joke up.
it is.
Let's just
Can
say,
we think of somebody else real quick?
Yeah. Like Kid Rock.
No, didn't he say it? No, it was like Cher. Didn't he say Cher? No, not Cher. Sorry.
Man, we're ruining this.
We're ruining
We're
the end of
ruining
this
it.
podcast.
You know what?
I'm gonna make
Just
something up.
see-
He's
just-
just like
no,
he's just
no.
like Sting, Kid Rock,
Batman, Sting.
Batman, Sting, The Rock.
It's so funny.
You're like that's a dumb. And he says, literally,
It's
says,
dumbass names.
Those
Dumbass names. It's so funny.
And then they have like a montage of just like The Rock just smacking Kevin Hart, just like Kevin Hart trying his best not to
Yeah,
break.
and
He's
like,
just
and this,
smack-
I mean, this doesn't
funny.
always happen, but it happens in a lot of the bigger budget movies. You know, like when The End came across the screen, everyone applauded. You know, like I really think that the audience was with the movie from beginning to end.
They're
It was
just
like,
so likable.
It was great.
All right, let's just go straight into plugs. So we have DCM coming
which
up.
is today,
Which is or tomorrow.
it comes out. It
Oh, yeah, it's
starts
this
Friday.
weekend.
This weekend. So
Oh, right.
we're in
Oh,
New
yeah.
York.
DCM starts today. I thought we were talking about just our show.
It's this weekend. Go see Astronomy Club. Apparently, you can't see us.
You can't see
unless
the
you're
podcast.
a performer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I'm sure there are some people who are performers who listen to us and will come.
Yeah, so those
that'll be
performers-
Saturday. That, as in, if you're listening to this on Friday, tomorrow at 3. Otherwise,
At 2.
or
It's
at
at
2.
2.
Sorry, at
At
2.
2.
Otherwise, you can follow us at Black Men Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. BlackmenPodcast.com. Tweet at us. Tell us where, if you're from other places, outside of the U.S., we want to hear from you. If you've seen Central Intelligence, tell us what you thought about it.
Yeah.
We love hearing from our fans. And also, you can follow me at John Braylock, johnbraylock.com for some videos, at John Braylock on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. And that's all from me.
Okay, you can follow me at James Third Comedy on Twitter and
How you spell that?
Instagram.
Is it
Third is 3RD.
Oh,
Y'all-
is it? I thought it was
but y'all,
THIRD.
hold up, y'all. I'm
What
trying
if
to,
somebody's listening to this the first time?
They don't know.
Listen, I try to be clear, okay? You James Third Comedy, jamesthirdcomedy.com.
But it could be THIRD.
Third is 3RD. There you go. See, that's how I like to do it in that order. I like to say the places you can go
that's cool.
first,
I feel
and
like
then I clarify.
I
right.
feel like by the time I could have zoned out. or
Get
something.
anything else?
No, only because y'all interrupted midway through. This could have been done in 15 seconds.
All right, Jerah.
It's me.
No, nothing else. Nothing else.
You can follow me on. I don't Instagram yet. Dang, I gotta get better. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat Jerah Milligan. You can look at MTV News for like random stuff. There's something I want to say. So to our female audience, if you like are looking to take care of somebody,
What are you doing?
if you're looking to take care of somebody,
What are
I
you
live in
doing?
New York. I mean, I don't know where you might live,
If you're
but like
looking
if it's
to
a thing that
take
you're like
care
about
of somebody,
I'm saying like,
you should take care of each other.
okay, no, this guy, what is he talking about?
No.
So listen, if you're like, you know what, I'm doing well in life. I want to like, you know, have a little cool husband who can like stay home and like build like the the porch. I can build a porch, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or I can find someone who
but
can.
that is taking
Great.
care. I mean, if you can build a porch, that's support.
Great. That's good. Also, we're not going to give out the dates yet, but we're coming to LA and all
coming
of
to
this.
LA,
Just know that. Just know that LA.
Coming to LA in August, baby.
And now
We're coming up on our year
next
anniversary
week.
too.
Next week
Yes,
we will
we are.
be reviewing the film Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Y'all, I just realized with Independence Day, I don't think I can watch the sequel.
Why?
I don't think
Because I
any of us will.
legit get sad when I see like all the people die in the from the alien.
yeah.
Even though
I thought you would. The reason I won't watch it is because Will Smith.
Will Smith's
is
not in it, but also, well, I don't want to spoil the movie.
Yeah, I know he's dead. That's
I know.
not
Why
a
did
spoiler.
You
Everybody
don't kill
knows
Will
that.
Smith in a movie.
Spoiler.
Will Smith
Anyway.
don't die in movies. He's Will Smith. Damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's even more outrageous to me. It's like, what if maybe you made a third one and he comes back for that? No, you freaking kill him. Screw you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Screw you, Roland
it's
Emmerich.
kind of like a, but they were.
I'm just
gonna-
kidding though, Bo.
They were doing no, they were
Hey,
doing.
Roland,
you wanna put me in a
Roland,
movie?
yeah,
The reason they
yeah,
did
yeah.
it though was because they were doing 2 and 3 back to.
Well, no, because
back.
Will Smith said he wasn't coming back.
He said he wasn't coming back, and they were doing 2 and 3 back to back.
All right,
Yeah,
James.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right, we'll see you next week. Watch Independence Day. We review it for Independence Day weekend.
Peace.
That was a headgum podcast.